Next on Done in a Weekend Projects, how to build the ultimate seasonal maintenance plan to keep your yard healthy and weekends free. Hey everyone, it's Doug Scott with Redeem Your Ground, and once again, I've joined up with our friends at Exmark to do another Done in a Weekend Projects video. If you're a homeowner who loves their yard but feels like you're always playing catch up, you're not alone. Between mowing, weeding, fertilizing, pruning, work, travel, family, and everything else, it's hard to stay ahead. To help us get ahead, we brought in just the perfect guy, Exmark ambassador, veteran landscaper, and Major League Fishing bass pro, Brian Latimer. Hey man, thanks so much for being back with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's good to be here.
Well, let's get at it. Okay, Brian. So most of us look at yard work as this week-to-week battle where we mow when the grass gets too high and we prune when the plants are taking over the world, and it's really just very reactionary. So I have to ask you, you're constantly on the road, and I imagine you don't have the chance to respond to the latest lawn scare from some lake in some other state. So how do you keep your yard looking so good?
Well, it's easy. When I'm out there fishing, my mind has to be on the fish.
Yeah.
I can't be worried about whether the grass is dying at home. So I always have a plan.
Okay.
It's right here on this checklist.
Nice.
To me, it isn't about doing more work, it's about doing the right work. So the yard is on my schedule. A proactive approach ensures it has what it needs before it needs it. That way, I'm not interrupted or losing time I can't afford to lose.
So this checklist is really like your playbook to make sure that your yard is ready when you are.
That's it. I want to be the boss of my yard, not the other way around.
So let's start where it all begins, spring. What's your approach?
Spring is where we set the pace. You activate the lawn, clean things up, and lay the foundation. If you do the right things early, everything else gets easier.
So if you're only going to focus on a few things, what matters most?
Mowing height. If you don't get the mowing height right, you can cause a lot of stress on your grass, thin it out, cause a lot of problems.
You don't want that.
No, sir, we don't want that. When the grass is really growing, I drop my mower deck height about a ½ inch lower than my summer cutting height. That's what encourages that thick, weed-free canopy everyone wants.
We have a video for that.
And of course, I like to start with fertilizer and pre-emergent.
And that.
And then I like to take care of pruning that makes sense for the season and the plant.
And for that.
After that, I like to freshen up my pine straw or mulch. And I've got a video on that.
All right, so what's next?
The checklist covers everything you need, but the approach is very simple. Spring is go time. Get it into the rhythm now, and you'll be in great shape all year.
All right, what about summer?
Now, this is where the plan really starts to pay off. Summer is all about maintaining and protecting what we built in spring.
Right, but this is the season where I feel like people just freak out. I don't know if it's because of heat or whatever, but they tend to overwater or overmow. Maybe they think if doing something's better than nothing, but then they tend to go overboard.
And that's the worst thing that you can do. Raise the mower deck back up to your regular height and water deeply, around twice a week, but not too much. That can hurt a lawn too. The right amount of water at the right intervals is the only way to get a lush green yard. Then spot treat your weeds, touch up your mulch, and make sure to look out for those heat stress areas.
All right, so I guess the moral of the story is don't freak out and just stick with the plan.
That's right.
So a lot of people seem to think that fall is the end of the lawn care road, but I think it's the most important season.
You ask me, I call it the fix-it season. Sometimes the summer's really rough on your yard. This is when we give it time to heal.
So it's a little bit more than just raking leaves.
Absolutely, it's way more than raking leaves. A beautiful yard in the spring starts in the fall. For cool season lawns, start cutting more often until the growth stops. This is also when you're dethatching, aerating, and overseeding. And you're hitting it with fertilizer focused on root development.
And for warm season lawns?
You're winding down. Make your last cut before it goes dormant, and feed lightly before it goes to sleep.
All right, what about the landscape beds?
It's time for a reset. Transplant or remove old plants, cut back perennials, add compost, and plant bulbs to grow in the spring.
So it sounds like it's all about making everything as strong as possible before winter.
Absolutely, and putting it in the best possible condition to rest and recover.
All right, well, that's what I like to do that time of year anyway. All right, Brian, the lawn is dormant. What's your winter game plan?
Now, this is where you really set yourself up for the win next year. Smart homeowners, this is where they get ahead.
All right, so what's that look like?
First, equipment. Put your mower away, unless you're in a warmer climate. You might still use it here and there for light mowing or even cleanup. Either way, don't ignore your equipment. Clean it, sharpen the blades, prep everything for colder months. Care for your tools now, and they'll care for you in the spring. For me, winter is the time for major pruning and cleaning up your beds. It's all outlined in this checklist right here.
Okay. All right, so earlier you said something about getting ahead. Does that mean that you're gonna tweak your plan?
You got it. Review the year, take note of what worked, and plan layout changes or additions for next year.
So you're really setting yourself up to really hit the ground running.
Now you're catching on. So for somebody like me that's traveling all the time, I need to do the right work now so I'm not so stressed when it comes to the spring.
So there you have it. 1 yard, 4 seasons, and a plan to help make sure that your yard works for you and not against you. This checklist breaks down every task by season, including all the specifics we didn't have time to cover today. And we've made it available for download so you can keep it handy all year round. You'll find the link in the description below. For seasonal backyard maintenance tips, including videos on lawn aeration, cutting height settings, mulching, mower winterizing, and more, check out the Done in a Weekend Projects episodes linked in the description. For even more lawn care and DIY content, visit exmark.com/backyard. There you'll find everything you need to know to live your best backyard life. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Brian, thanks so much for joining us, man. It's been awesome.
Always a pleasure, man. How about we go fishing now?
Hey, man, I'm in. Let's go. Yeah, man.